Lincoln went down to New Orleans.
Every Saturday morning, this South Bronx cafe bustles with the sounds of friendly conversation, clinking dishes, and happy children being read a story.
What are these? Cozy.
The free weekly program of interactive readings is just one of many literary initiatives run by Boogie Down Books, a specialty bookstore without walls for Bronx children, teens, families, and educators. Longtime New York City English teacher and educator coach Rebecca Schoaf is the face behind this endeavor. When Barnes & Noble's at Bay Plaza Mall, the only bookstore in all of the Bronx, was shut down in 2016, Schoaf began thinking of how to bring more literary access to her borough of 1.5 million people.
And so it was a way to think about, okay, what about neighborhoods that aren't being served by existing opportunities to engage with books, libraries, bookstores, etc., and how can we help to provide opportunities and access in those neighborhoods. Additionally, we do sell books, but we also curate and facilitate community-based reading experiences, and so it's really, really important to us to bring some of the feel and the atmosphere and the relationship building that you saw at Boogie Down Storytime this morning to other places where we partner.
When high real estate costs kept Schoaf from opening her dream children's bookstore, she decided to take it on the road. Motley Kitchen was her first community partner to host an ongoing pop-up bookshop in April 2018, and since then, the bookstore's programming roster has expanded to include a monthly book club for teens and adults, author talks, creative workshops, and curated pop-up shops for school community events throughout the borough. With an online store launched last summer to reach people outside the Bronx too, Boogie Down Books offers something many other online book retailers can't provide: community events, personalized recommendations, and locale-specific book selections. On each of these platforms, stories by and about people of color and Bronx residents take center stage.
Everything that we sell and promote is representative of the backgrounds and experiences and identities of the young readers who will be engaging with those books.
Yellow. Anything else?
Bronx native LaShante Briscoe has volunteered to read at Storytime twice, and as a special education teacher in the Bronx, she says this new access to relatable stories has directly impacted her own students.
One of the books she has, it's about a transgender little boy. Reading in my classroom actually made the environment a lot more comfortable and safer for my students, and made them actually want to come to school because they realized not only did I recognize what they were feeling and the changes they were going through, it also helped them realize that school isn't a place of where they could be bullied or a place of hatred, a place where they can actually be themselves and get educated.
Robin Sahai Menez has lived in Mott Haven for 2 years, and she's been bringing her kids out to Storytime for half that time.
Every Saturday morning, they're like, oh, we're going to Motley today. It's, reading time, Boogie Down Books. So they actually, they prompted themselves to say that they really want to go and they don't want to miss it at all.
Menez says that the program's impact on her family reaches beyond Motley Kitchen. Oftentimes, she either buys the book from Storytime in the cafe's pop-up shop or checks it out from a library to discuss more at home.
Being here with your family, showing your kids that reading is really important, and then being able to kind of with the community, look at the different books that may relate a little bit more to our community and that we can see, and so then we're able to purchase those, and I think that's really important.
While Boogie Down Books continues to operate without walls, the only brick-and-mortar bookstore in the entire borough has officially opened for business. 4 years ago, South Bronx native Noelle Santos began planning her bookshop/wine bar as she and thousands of other locals protested the closure of Barnes & Noble's in Co-op City. After a long, hard startup journey with community support through crowdfunding, encouragement, referrals, and labor, Santos now joins the rising ranks of indie bookstores across the country, which have grown by 50% over the past decade, according to the American Booksellers Association.
And thank you for opening your hearts and helping me show the world what many fail to see, that the Bronx is no longer burning, except with desire to read.
Santos, a former Wall Street human resources director, says she used to measure her success by how far she could get away from the Bronx. Now she says she hopes to create a haven that inspires reading and socialization, highlights diverse voices, and helps build her borough's self-respect.
It brings intellectual visibility in the Bronx. It brings us a seat at the table with all of the market rate projects going on.
it gives us an opportunity to preserve culture at home.
Santos's general interest bookstore offers a unique social and intellectual hub for the local community. Grand Concourse resident Rebecca Perez is an avid reader with a personal collection of over 1,000 books. She's been tracking the Lit Bar's progress since her donation to its crowdfunding campaign a couple years ago.
We've lost a lot of the ability to just spend time without having to spend money, and this is going to bring a lot of that possibility to the Bronx, where we can gather, actually read books, actually be able to educate ourselves and spend time together.
The whole neighborhood looks like it's popping up now.
Bronx native Vin McCarthy says that with a new wave of outside developers hitting the Mott Haven area, it's important to preserve the Bronx's homegrown culture.
Support locally owned businesses, support Bronx-owned businesses, support black-owned businesses. Like, these are people that are from the neighborhood that are giving back to their own neighborhood. It's not like some big developer is opening another Barnes & Noble or anything like that. These are people from the community trying to do good in the community, so support that.
And as this community continues to grow in educational accessibility, intellectual visibility, and cultural vibrancy, visionary leaders like Rebecca Schoaf and Noel Santos are to thank for not judging this book by its cover and turning a new page on the South Bronx story. From Mott Haven in the Bronx, this is Johanna Franco.